5 coworkers, the same mysterious rash, doctors completely stumped, and every single Monday it came back, worse than before. This is the kind of medical mystery that makes your skin crawl. Literally. And the answer, when it finally came, was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Imagine going to work at a job you love, caring for animals, helping people, doing something meaningful, and then one day you notice a bump on the back of your neck. You scratch it, think nothing of it. Maybe a bug bite, maybe stress. But then your coworker mentions she has the same thing. Then another. Then another. 5 of you in total, all sharing the same strange, burning, intensely itchy welts, and not a single doctor can tell you why. That is exactly what happened to a group of women working in the back treatment area of a veterinary clinic in southern Ontario, Canada. And their story is a perfect example of how the medical system, despite its best efforts, can completely miss something when the clues aren't found in a textbook, but in the environment around you. Let's set the scene. A veterinary clinic is not your average workplace. The front of house, reception, waiting area looks and feels like any other professional setting. Clean, organized, relatively calm. But the back, the treatment area, that is a completely different world. It's where the real work happens. Animals are examined, treated, sometimes operated on. Staff are in close physical contact with each other, with animals, with equipment, and with surfaces that get touched hundreds of times a day. It is busy, it is tactile, and it is the kind of place where something microscopic could easily go unnoticed for weeks. The group affected ranged in age from 21 to 50, all women, all working in that back treatment area. And for 3 weeks, they had been dealing with rashes that were not just uncomfortable, they were relentless. Hot, red, intensely itchy bumps that antihistamines barely touched. The kind of itching that wakes you up at night. The kind that makes it hard to concentrate on anything else. And here is where it gets interesting. The staff working at the front reception, completely fine. The veterinarians who regularly came into the back to help, skin-to-skin contact, working side by side, also completely fine. No clients reported coming back with similar symptoms. And perhaps most strangely of all, none of the affected women had spread it to anyone at home. Not to partners they shared a bed with, not to family members, not to friends. Whatever this was, it was staying in that back room. And that detail is everything. The women had already tried the standard treatments. Reactine, a popular antihistamine, did almost nothing. One of them had been prescribed permethrin cream, which is typically used to treat scabies and lice. It didn't help. They were going through tubes of hydrocortisone cream. Doctors kept offering the same toolkit. Antihistamines, cortisone, permethrin, none of it was making a lasting difference. Skin scrapes done right there in the clinic came back showing nothing. Now, 3 weeks in, with no answers and no relief, they started looking at their environment more carefully. And here is one of the most crucial details in this whole story. The rash always started in the same place, the back of the neck. Every single one of them. It would begin there, a bump, a welt, and then slowly spread to other parts of the body. But the neck remained the most affected area throughout. Think about that. The back of the neck. Not the hands, not the arms, not the face, which would be the most obvious targets if this were a contact allergy to something they were touching. The back of the neck, the one part of the body that is exposed, warm, and that you cannot easily see. The place where, if something small were dropping from above, from a shelf, from the ceiling, from overhead equipment, it would land first. This wasn't random. This was geography. Now here's the detail that really shifted everything. The clinic had been fumigated exactly 1 week before this story was shared. And what happened in the days immediately after the fumigation? Everyone started getting better. By Monday, the bumps were almost gone. There was real hope that this nightmare was over. And then, everyone flared up again, worse than before. The fumigation didn't kill whatever it was, or it did kill it temporarily, but the source was still there, still producing, still dropping down onto the necks of 5 women who had no idea what was hitting them. So what was it? The most likely answer, pieced together by people who responded to this story online, many of them with backgrounds in pest control, veterinary medicine, and dermatology, was mites. specifically a type of mite that does not typically affect humans as a primary host, but will absolutely bite when it finds itself in a new environment. And in a veterinary clinic, there are several candidates. Shaleatiella mites, sometimes called walking dandruff, are common in rabbits, cats, and dogs. They can and do bite humans, causing intensely itchy, welt-like reactions. Another strong candidate, bird mites or rodent mites, both of which can infest a building and cause exactly this pattern of bites. They are tiny, nearly invisible to the naked eye, and they tend to drop from above, from nesting sites in ceilings, from air vents, from equipment stored overhead, which would explain why the bites start at the back of the neck. These mites do not typically spread from human to human. They cannot complete their life cycle on a human host, which explains why partners at home were not affected, why the vets, despite close contact, were not affected, perhaps because they were moving through the area more briefly or standing in slightly different positions, and why the front desk staff, in a physically separate part of the building, were completely untouched. The fumigation would have killed the adult population, temporarily, but if eggs or larvae were tucked away in cracks, in equipment, in ceiling voids, they would have hatched within days, right on schedule for a Monday morning flare-up. This is not a rare story. It is actually more common than most people realize, and it is consistently misdiagnosed because the bites look like almost everything else. They look like eczema, they look like hives, they look like scabies. And because the mites themselves are so small, and because standard skin scrapes often miss them, patients walk away with prescriptions that treat the symptoms but never touch the cause. So what can you learn from this? Quite a bit, actually, and it applies far beyond veterinary clinics. First, when a rash affects multiple people in the same location, but does not spread beyond that location, the environment is the patient, not the people. Stop focusing entirely on the individuals and start investigating the space. What is in the ceiling? What animals have been in this building? What is overhead where people spend most of their time? Second, the pattern of where the rash starts matters enormously. The back of the neck is a classic entry point for something falling or dropping from above. If your rash consistently starts there, look up, literally. Third, if standard treatments aren't working after 2 to 3 weeks, push for a different kind of evaluation. Ask about environmental pest assessment. Ask specifically about mites, not just scabies, but bird mites, rodent mites, Shaleatiella. Ask whether a professional pest control inspection specifically targeting mites has been done. A standard fumigation may not be enough. Mite infestations often require targeted treatment of the specific source, not just a general chemical sweep. Fourth, document everything. When the rash improves, note what changed. When it flares, note what's the same.